marine life nature provides us is wonderful and here. It contains many resources for many species. Surprisingly, over 3.5 million people rely on the ocean. But what most people don't know is that we are actually harming our oceans. Our essential question was, what will happen if we continue to harm our marine ecosystems? We come up with a hypothesis, which is that if we continue to damage our marine ecosystems, then we are putting our marine life at a greater risk of becoming extinct. One of the major concerns for marine life is pollution. About 10.5 million tons of trash are dumped into the oceans each year, and it is very harmful towards marine life. Based on Joshua Sprague, a marine biologist at the Channel Islands Visitor Center, he stated that one of the largest sources of pollution comes from rainwater runoff. Rainwater runoff picks up pet waste, disease-causing pathogens, oil, and other contaminants due to human activity. By continuing to pollute our oceans, the consequences are more frequent acid rains happening and harmful algae bloom, creating dead zones for fish and other marine wildlife. The most detrimental trash in our oceans are plastic items because plastic doesn't biodegrade and it takes about 1,000 years for it to fully degrade. For further information, I went to Foothill High to ask another professional on biology.
I think there's several things that'll happen. First of all, as we've seen lately, a lot of organisms are building up plastics in their stomachs. The famous turtle with the straw in his nose is a very graphic example of that. But more importantly, is the whales and seals, etc., that have been building up plastic within their bodies. But I think one of the things that people don't talk about is the fact of how it's harming the smaller life that the larger life depends on. Nobody talks about the krill and the phytoplankton and the zooplankton, but they're being harmed just as well.
However, marine life can evolve to become resistant to these things. Unfortunately, a full evolution process will take about 1 million years, and more garbage is entering our oceans at a very rapid pace. If we don't stop, then likely most of the marine life will become extinct. Unfortunately, the pollution isn't the only problem the marine life is facing.
Overfishing is the act of hunting fish faster than they can reproduce, and it's obviously a problem. The effects are endangered species, extinct species, and a disruption in the food chain capable of harming more species. Continued overfishing will have devastating effects on aquatic life forms as well as our global economy. To prove this, here is Dr. Michael Aram, a professor of biology at the Oxford College. How much of a problem is overfishing, and does it compare to the threats of pollution? Over 25% of the world's fish stocks are either overexploited or depleted.
Something that greatly affects ocean life is climate change. It hurts underwater animals in many ways. It makes some parts of the ocean too hot, killing them or destroying their habitats. In the near future, there's many species that could go extinct. One of these species is plankton. Plankton are the base of the aquatic ecosystem. Without them, many species will lose their food source and die. We are not only putting too much carbon dioxide into the air, we're putting way much into the ocean. The ocean is becoming acidic and it's hard for fish to survive. Hurting fish hurts us because we will lose food and it'll mess up the food chain. We're not only hurting these animals from killing them with carbon dioxide, the temperature is also affecting their chance of breeding for the worse. If we don't solve this problem soon, it'll hurt everyone.
We learned that our marine life is in even more danger than we thought, and that it will get worse in the future if we don't stop. But after researching the issues, we have come up with a solution to help save the wildlife in our oceans. A solution to stopping marine pollution is to use more recyclable materials because they can be reused over and over again. So this will stop the amount of trash from increasing. I think what's also important is that we should be careful about what we throw away, because some of the things we throw away cannot be destroyed and are very dangerous to the marine life. What we can possibly do is that we can help clean up in beaches or even some areas in the town, because some of these trash can lead.
This would limit the allowable catch size of any one shark. If these things happened, could the effects be reversed? With enough time, though we may lose a few species forever, the effects, for the most part, could be reversed.
To help the ocean from being ruined by climate change, you can do several things. First, you can lower the amount of carbon dioxide you put into the air each day. I'm not talking about breathing, it's mostly machines.
Fossil
Carbon
fuels.
dioxide is responsible for 89% of the carbon dioxide that goes into our atmosphere each year in the United States. Using something like a bike can save a lot of money on gas and preserve fish. 1 gallon of gasoline will put 20 pounds of carbon dioxide into the air. Lastly, if we lower meat consumption, less animals would be needed for food, and that would lower gases like carbon
Itself help benefit our marine wildlife.
So it was last year that Environmental Club was a part of the Blue Water Task Force, which is a division of Surfrider. And Surfrider is a very active organization. They're volunteer based. They're all up and down the coast of California as well as across the nation. So, but the task of Blue Water Task Force, what they did was they were testing the water quality during the seasons that the city of Ventura doesn't. So the city of Ventura will test the water quality during the summer, but they won't during winter.
So what will happen if we continue to harm our marine ecosystems? We believe that if we continue to damage our marine ecosystems, then we're putting our marine life at a greater risk of becoming extinct. Apparently, this is true because most of the issues are continuing to happening, and right now we haven't found a way to stop it. However, our solution to this problem is to treat our environment by reducing the amount of trash, stop overfishing, and be aware of other situations affecting marine life, such as global warming. This is by the Helpful Dragon.